Hello, it's March 21st, 2011, and I'm doing my first update video in a very long time. I don't have a good excuse for not doing an update video before now. I just haven't been into it. So, there's a lot to cover, actually. A lot of changes going on, a lot of craziness this winter. Hopefully spring is better. Um, I had problems with my mom being in the hospital, and that's still ongoing. She had a heart attack in January, and then they had to end up putting stents in her arteries, and she just had a lot of problems recently, so that's made me sort of withdraw, because that's kind of what I do whenever I'm stressed out, is I just kind of withdraw inside myself, and so that's what's been going on. Plus, I was in a car wreck that unfortunately was my fault, and that was not good. I actually thought that I killed somebody, and there's no way I could have lived with that. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. It was just one of those things where I looked while crossing a highway, and for some reason I didn't see this oncoming van, and I ran into it. So that's the bad stuff. Now that I have that out of the way, I can get into the good stuff that's happened since the last time I made a video. At this point, I've been on hormones for over 8 months, and they continue to have an effect on me. I continue to see development throughout my body, some in my face, with my cheekbones, things like that, which is nice. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It just puts me more in that in-between spot that I don't like, but I'm going to have to deal with that for now. I believe that I mentioned before that I had told my mom, I know that I mentioned that I told my mom about all of this, and that she was completely accepting. Well, even though she said she was going to keep this a secret, she let it out pretty much to my entire family. I think I have maybe 2 brothers who don't know, but the rest of my siblings do. I have 5 older brothers and an older sister, and I guess not surprisingly, my brothers seem to have an issue with it, and my sister doesn't. And with my brothers, it's I'm sorry, I kicked the camera. It's a varying degree of, problems that they have with it. Some of them, I think, are pretty freaked out by it. And, then I think I have maybe one brother who, isn't all that freaked out by it, but still isn't approving of it. So, but it's not their decision. So I'm dealing with that. It's actually a relief to be out this much at this point. You're so scared about what it's going to mean when people find this out. And I've actually had very few negative interactions. I mean, I know that people don't approve, but no one has been outwardly hostile or, anything like that. The worst I've had is when I told, surprisingly enough, the woman who does my laser hair removal, because I had gone in. It'd been a long time since I'd been in for laser hair removal, because my face was mostly done, and I was putting off the last sessions for some reason, probably money related. But anyway, so I went in to her, and hormones change your skin. I mean, if you know anything about taking hormones, you know that your skin becomes smoother, softer. And I didn't know if that was going to affect the strength of the laser that she would be able to use on me. So I told her that I was transgendered and that I'd been on estrogen for a while, and I didn't know if that was going to affect anything. And she said that she didn't think that it would. And then I mentioned that I might want to do laser hair removal on other parts of my body. Because I really want to get the hair off my legs. And she said that she was fine with it, but then she followed it up with, as long as it's handled professionally. And I still don't know exactly what she means by that. But the fact that she put a little disclaimer like that on it, I don't know, made me think that she might not be all that fine with dealing with a transgender patient. So I think that whenever I do go to get laser hair removal on my legs, I'm going to go to a different person. So, let's see, another big thing I have coming up is that my friend is moving, which means that I'm going to be moving once again. She's moving to another state to be with her boyfriend, and so I'm getting an apartment by myself, which will be both good and bad, because even though she's been incredibly supportive of me throughout this, but still, there's a little bit of awkwardness to living with someone when you're going through this. There are times when I don't dress up nearly as much as what I once did. And part of that is just because I don't have to in order to feel like me. Where before I needed more of the sort of external manifestation of femininity. I really don't need that as much now, because that's the way that I am on the inside, and plus my body's changing. So, but there are times that I would probably dress up and I don't, just because she's around, and I don't know, it's a consideration, so I don't do it. Tonight being an exception. She's not here now, but she will be. What else? I am going to a speech therapist. I've had several sessions at this point. My voice still is not good. And it's worse now than what it was, because of spring break and because of my speech therapist getting ill and things. It's been 3 weeks, I think, since I've been in, and I'm not someone who really works on my voice outside of those sessions, just because I'm so discouraged by it. But, the last session I had, we did some recording, and I actually got my voice to a point where it sounded good to me, which was surprising. So I have more faith in that than what I ever did. So now the big thing is hair. Hair's the thing that bugs me the most about this now. Because, other things, face, can be handled by surgery. Speaking of surgery, I found out recently that a friend that I met at Be-All in 2009 has her SRS schedule, which makes me a little jealous. I actually, sort of accepted this earlier than she did, and now she's progressed so much more than I have, but, I have to go at my own pace, although I really am, at this point, ready, for the first time. I think throughout this, excuse me, there's something wrong with my throat. For the first time throughout this, I'm actually ready to transition now. So it's just going to be a matter of money at this point. Money and my voice. I have to make sure my voice is where I want it to be, before I go through with everything else. So, but mainly it's a matter of money now, and figuring out how I'm going to be able to afford to do FFS, because there are several things that I want to do, and, I don't want to wait a long time for SRS after that. So, and anyway, that's what's going on with me. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you hopefully sooner. So, goodbye.